Well, thanks for signing up for us to list your property. There's several next steps once you've gone through the initial process of the shopping cart and filling out initial contact form. You should have downloaded your listing paperwork. And if you somehow missed that step, send an email to us at sales@bergproperties.com and we'll make sure we get that out to you right away. The listing paperwork has both the property profile, which has information on your property. Certain fields on there are required. Although if you're having trouble finding some of the data, we might be able to help you. And if your property is recently listed on the MLS, if you want to send an email to operations@bergproperties.com with your previous, with your current, with the address and of the property or your old MLS number, we can shoot you out what your old MLS listing looked like, so it will enable you to quickly input the information to the new listing paperwork. Additionally, there's a listing agreement that is required by state law. Anybody who lists your property has to be licensed by the state. There's 5 blanks on that page: begin date, end date, sale price, whatever commission you're offering a buyer's agent, and a signature. The begin date should be whatever day you want us to activate the listing. If you're sending your paperwork in today, put down tomorrow's date. The end date should be a year from that date, but you can put down whatever you want. You can basically cancel at any time, so there's no real need to put it for any less period than that, but that's up to you. Let's see what else we're going to say about that. Begin date, end date. And we also need you to sign the document per state law, so you can either scan that and email it back to us, or you can fax it back to us. Any questions, feel free to give us a call, or again, send an email to sales@bergproperties.com. Typical commissions being offered: a buyer's agent in Chicago run around 2.5%. In fact, approximately 90% or so of the properties listed in the Chicago Metro are offering a 2.5% to a buyer's agent, although it does vary from place to place. Some properties listed on the North Shore of Chicago do a split commission. If the property's over $1 million, they'll do like a 2.25% up to $1 million and a 1.75% for the balance. So that's also an option too, especially on the North Shore. It's pretty typical for bigger properties. Additionally, we offer signs that are installed and removed on a wood post sign that are heavy duty, 24 by 30 inch. If you opted for one of those, that runs $75. That takes about, they run about 2 to 4 days for installation. And again, if you want that installed immediately, then shoot us an email. Otherwise, we'll wait to get your paperwork in. Shoot us an email at operations@bergproperties.com. Or you could send to sales too. It doesn't really matter. Lockbox. If you order a lockbox, we'll be shipping that out to you. Again, if you want that sooner than later, then send us an email. Let us know you want that shipped right away. Appointment setting. That'll be set up upon, if you've elected for that optional service, that'll be set up upon your appointment, your listing going active, and we'll add for the realtors to call the appointment setting service, and the appointment setting service will then coordinate showings with you. That's a great option to kind of smooth out the sales, the appointment setting process. It also vets the realtors. They have to give their showing ID to the appointment setting service to verify they're an agent before they give out any showing instructions. And additionally, the appointment setting service pings the realtors for feedback. It also captures the agent's information, so you could follow up on your own for feedback as well. And I think feedback's important. It gives you an idea of where you are at the marketplace, especially if you're not getting, if you get a lot of negative feedback, then maybe it's time to drop your price, and especially if you're not getting any second showings or offers. We'll talk more about that in a future video. Pricing in general, we can send you out comps, what's sold in the area recently, and put you on an automatic feed for what's active and coming on the market. Price changes, that's pretty important. So if you want to elect to receive some pricing information, send an email to operations@bergproperties.com. Let us know what area you're in, town, neighborhood of Chicago, if that's the case, or a particular high-rise building, because we'll go with comps within the proper area. It varies depending on what kind of property type you have, a condo versus single family, and what area of Chicago you actually live in, whether it's the suburbs or the city. Staging. Before you take pictures, we recommend that you stage a property. We'll be doing a future video on that if we haven't already. And that just means getting rid of all your clutter and kind of sprucing the place up and get it ready for buyers to be able to view. Additionally, you want to stage it a little bit before you even take pictures. If you elected for the professional photographer, we'll be setting that up here shortly to have the photographer call you directly, work with you on setting the time up. We don't get in the middle of the process, but we do have professional photographers that take great pictures, and it's a really important component of your listing and something everybody should consider doing. They have better cameras than a typical phone camera and a typical point and shoot cameras, and they just know what they're doing, so the pictures tend to turn out much better. Timeline: once you send your paperwork in to us and send us your pictures, we can get you up and running within 1 business day. So things can happen pretty quickly for you. And once your property is active on the MLS, we will immediately send out a cut and paste of the listing to your email address so you can verify it and request any changes or error correction that needs to be done. That should pretty much take care of it. Thanks so much.